Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Polachek. Welcome to my channel. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do watercoloring with the pigment sprinkles. Going to be making an easel card on the next video, but this time we're going to just start off with the watercoloring. Starting off by using the embossing buddy to put the powder all over my watercolor paper, so the pigment doesn't stick any place I don't want it to. Now I'm stamping with obviously a dirty stamp, which I thought, oh my, but I'm thinking, well, that is exactly why my stamp looks like it does, my pad. But it did turn out pretty good, so I can see where the heck I was stamping those leaves. I am trying to aim to get to at least one full-size leaf on one side to the left and one full size to the right, because later I want to cut out one of those leaves to use on the front of the card. So in a minute I'm going to start playing some music because the embossing is going to get pretty boring. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna start with the little speckled part of this stamp set, and I'm gonna use the embossing. I just thought, well, that worked so well last time. I'm gonna try it with a little bit of yellow. Maybe it won't dirty my pad up twice so bad. But anyway, it didn't work out quite as well as the dirty brown did. But anyway, I'm going ahead and stamping that everywhere, and I'm gonna be using the copper embossing powder on this next one to use these little spots. So we'll go ahead and start back with the music again. Okay, here we start with the watercolor. Right here I'm wetting down the back of my watercolor piece of paper and sticking it down to the back, one of the plastic things that we have on our stamparatus. I'm doing this so the watercolor paper will stay flat as I watercolor. I don't want it to roll up and mess me up, so this is the perfect way to get it to stick down and stay. You know, you can go ahead and tape it if you wanted to, but this is the easiest way. Now I'm going ahead and with the acrylic blocks so I can sprinkle some of the pigment sprinkles on top of it. because when you hit it too fast with the water, you know, this pressure of the water will blow them all over the place. So I like to wet that acrylic block before I start. I've used the yellow and the green together and the red and the purple together. Try to keep the colors kind of separated. But as you'll see in a minute, my desk is obviously tilted a bit and the colors start running together. If they get too messy, you have to basically wipe it off and start all over again, because the colors will just make a mud color. Here I'm starting in by putting yellow inside of the centers of each of the leaves. And I want to try to keep the yellow on the kind of towards the inside, in the center of the leaves, because I'm trying to think of the way leaves kind of are when they start turning naturally. This is how they turn. I think they they're kind of green at the stem area, and then they start getting yellow and pink and orange and purple. The yellow and the red will mix together and make an orange, and then of course the green and the yellow will make a lighter green. And the purple is just kind of gives it that little kind of a burnt edge that you wouldn't see on the leaves. Of course, with more color. Just kind of going around the yellow, because I don't really want the green to be next to the red, because that definitely will make it muddy. Anytime you go opposite of the color wheel, you're going to get a muddy color, which sometimes you want, sometimes you don't. And today I don't want it. But now if you go outside of the leaf, it's not that big of a deal. Watercolors are supposed to be a little messy. It's more about the values. You want to keep the values like right now I'm trying to get the colors as rich as I can, because the leaves are the main part of this painting. Now this is where I'm going to start hitting it around the outside edges with the purple. Run out of things to say. I guess I should play more music, but I think we're about through with this. Because you notice those speckles, they went on top of the leaves as well on the outside of the leaves. It really doesn't matter. I kind of like that this copper just kind of all over the place. Okay, here we're going to start off. Now, if you notice, I'm going to be drying this first. I want to move the plastic just in case. I'm not real sure if that would warp or not, but the heat probably would not be good for it, because I usually don't put my heat tool on dry. I just go ahead and get it as high as I can so I can get this job done. Flipping it back and forth to help it stay flat. As you can see, it dries pretty. It tries to roll on you a bit, but not near as much as if you didn't wet both sides of that paper. Okay. Yeah. Next, I'm going to take the. I didn't really need the plastic this time because I didn't wet it, but I just put it on there because it kind of helps keep them not so messy. Now I started with the blue. Let's see, I forgot to put that water on there first, and that's when that pigment will get everywhere. Hopefully I kept it off most of that. Okay, so now I'm aiming for a blue, but I don't want it to be any as dark as those leaves are. So that's my aim here, to get it a little lighter value than those leaves. And I am leaving a little bit of white around the edges, which is fine. That's kind of separates the two as well. And I also will be trying to keep the area that I'm painting wet as possible. If you let it dry and then come back if you let it dry too much and then come back with the thing, it'll make like a bleed. It'll bleed back in there. So that's why you try to keep the edge you're working on wet. And as you notice, I'm just sticking more white just to get a little bit of different value of that blue. I don't want it all the same. I want it to be different colors of blue. Not different colors of blue, but different values of blue. And these pigments are about like our inks are. You really can't lift much of it out. You can maybe take a paper towel and lift a little bit of the color out, but not a whole lot. Okay. Now you probably could have made all kind of backgrounds with that ink I just put on the back of that paper towel, but there would be probably some pretty fun backgrounds to knock it into. You see all these things when you I'm watching the video back. Think, oh, Debbie, you should have done this, or you should have done that. But anyway, I didn't. To see how that paper's trying to roll now, that's because it wasn't wet on both sides. Keeping it wet on both sides, it keeps it from rolling. So anyway, I'm drying it out again now because I'm going to do a little bit more stamping on it. I'm going to use there's a little wheat like stamp in that same set, and I decided, well, I might, on the first one I used, it was early espresso. I thought, well, maybe that's too dark, so I thought, well, let me try the soft suede and see what that looks like. And then I stamped it there and I said, no, that ain't gonna work, it's too light. I have to go with the darker early espresso, and it looks good. It's just that it's kind of shocking. Anyway, so now, and I thought, well, am I going to use the dark or the light? I'll just go with the dark. Turning it all different directions, just like I did the leaves. And earlier I had cut myself a, what do you call that, where you stamp the leaf on a piece of just regular typing paper, and then you cut it out, and it makes like a mask. And I want that wheat to look like it's behind that leaf instead of covering it up. I don't want it on top of it. I want it all behind it. Anyway, that's all of it for today. I will be making the second part of this video, and I'll leave a link to that second part in the description below, along with everything I use. So hope to see you later. Give me a thumbs up. Bye bye.